18@gmail.com. Be part of something great.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, brother.
Say the password. Help get your life on track.
Password?
Hands.
Face.
Space.
Surface.
Hand, face, space, surface.
Give me the password I need.
Password?
Hand, face, space, surface.
Stop. Say the password. Hand, face, space, surface.
The password to help take back our world from Corona.
Hand, face, space, surface.
You are watching AYV Television.
Good evening. This is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. I am Marina Terry. Let's start with tonight's headlines.
Health Ministry disburses checks of 15 million loans to households occupying the government property at Lumley
area. One is a general hospital that's about 100 beds and a pediatric center of excellence.
Residents of Tabakula Wharf at Aberdeen complain of lack of basic amenities. And Vice President Julde calls on paramount chiefs and stakeholders in Kono District to tap into President Bio's developmental program.
Well, it is one of the most momentous ones. I've had very...
Now for the full news with Marina Tay.
Now, the Health Ministry has disbursed checks of 15 million loans, each to 28 out of 30 households verified to have been occupying the government's property at Lumley, where the pediatric hospital is set to be constructed. The Health Minister, Dr. Austin Demby, says the money is a humanitarian package from government to assist the families for 1 year rent, as they will soon vacate the premise. Salifu Chernokamara reports.
The government property at Lumley in Freetown was identified for the construction of a pediatric hospital, which is an aid from the government of Japan. The project will be done through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. The health minister says, as Lumley is expanding, the community needs essential services for residents. He added that for such developments to thrive, some people need to sacrifice for the greater good. As he says, many specialty units, including an oxygen plant.
We're trying to construct two major hospitals in the Lumley area. One is a general hospital that's about 100 beds and a pediatric center of excellence that's about 150 beds. So combined, they will have about 250 beds in the Lumley community. We have government land that's out there. And over the years, some people have occupied some of the government land. And so we had spent the past couple of months negotiating, thanks to Honorable Tawa Conte and his team and the ministry team. We've spoken to every household member. What we thought fit was to look at a humanitarian package for each of these families that will allow them to move on as we follow on with the construction. So 30 families were identified in the community, and for each of those families we have a package of about 15 million leones, and this is based on calculations of what it will cost to pay a monthly rent for a year.
Some of the people who received the checks have lived in the government buildings at Lumley for almost 2 decades or even more. To some, it is a feeling of delight, and others a feeling of despair.
I know what it means for ambulance to take people across to PCMH. Most of the time they die on the way. So I'm not selfish that I'm being evacuated, but for the development of this nation and the well-being of generations to come. I'm happy about it. I appreciate what the little government gave to me.
I don't receive the check, but really I'm not happy. I'm not happy really. I don't used to the place. From now, the money for 1 year they give me. But when you move, for go another community, for start life, you know, easy.
They don't go meet you, tell me, say, the government can block this place at any time. So that everybody find place. But with this point, say, we're not getting active for now, this is not any season. So, but thank God they listen to me, they will give me this.
The deadline for these people to evacuate the buildings is in a week, as cleaning of the area is to be done for commencement of construction of the hospital. Salifuchar Kamara, AYV News in Freetown.
The Ministry of Water Resources and the management team of the Sierra Leone Water Company, Salwako, have concluded 3 days field visits in Cambia, Kabala, and Maboroka to inspect the ongoing water supply project sites in those districts. The main purpose of the visit is to ascertain the success and progress made so far since the inception of the project. Memunat Bangura reports.
The 6 towns water project, which is funded by government, seeks to provide clean, cheap and safe drinking water to residents in the respective districts. Manager for the 6 town water project, Engineer Yankuba Jusu Tarawali, explains the details of the project.
For the 6 towns project, we are implementing and optimizing water supply in 6 different towns. Most of the towns have got 2 contracts. One for the supply and installation of distribution network, and the other aspect is the construction or optimization of water treatment plants. But for Magoroka, it was a single package. And we are working cordially with other stakeholders to ensure that we improve the performance of this project. We don't want this project to be like other projects we've implemented in this country. And the idea behind the development of the 6 towns is the fact that all the water supply facilities that were constructed in the 80s, they cannot meet the present demand. And if they cannot meet the present demand, if we are planning to improve on those facilities, we should ensure that it's done properly to meet future demand.
Managing Director of Salwako, Engineer George Lamin Vandi, reiterated that the project, after completion, will benefit residents immensely.
This one will be a landmark success, not only for Sierra Leone, but for this particular community. Because like the River Paramount Chief said, this project dates far back as over 40 or 50 years back. Somehow, this project has come into this state. For so many reasons that this is not the right, this is not the place for us to go into all those discussions. But now there is a unique opportunity to bring this project back so that the people of Polifa Chiefdom will say it was in the days of President Vio, it was in the days of Vice President Julia Jallo, it was in the days of Minister P.K. Lansana, it was in the days of all the stakeholders that this project was revitalized. I want to believe it will be our pride to take that accolade from the people of this country. So once more, I want to say thank you and assure the leadership that we that have the oversight of this project and also the project management team, we will do all in our power to ensure that we leave no stone unturned to ensure that this project turns out to be a success.
Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Philip Karimu Lantana, called on stakeholders and residents in these communities to support the project.
But I want to talk to my brothers in the council and the chiefdom. Some months back, I was told that people are mining in this river, and the quality was so bad that the system was not able to treat it. When they treat the water coming out was still not of good quality because of the work that was being done on the river. So I'm really asking the council, the chiefdom, for us to come together to address that problem. Maybe they'll have me to make a statement after my statement to see maybe what they have done regarding that, because it's very, very important.
Monat Bangura, AYV News, Freetown.
Silaju Parker, a young farmer and owner of Sil Parker Farm in Bont District, have called on other young people to embrace farming as a source of employment, which he noted will also help address the challenge of food scarcity in the country. He made this call while receiving a tricycle and other farm implements from the Ministry of Youth Affairs. Ronald Jomorvia has more on the story.
Sierra Leone spends millions of dollars on rice and other food importation on a yearly basis owing to lack of investment in agriculture, hence the call of President Bio for citizens to embark on farming. Silaju Parker is a young Sierra Leonean and a graduate of public health from Jala University who decided to leave the luxury of white-collar jobs in the city and embark on farming in his hometown. While receiving support of farm items donated by President Bio to the Ministry of Youth, Parker pleaded on other young people to engage in farming.
I will say a great thanks to HE, the President, which I have received support from him for the first time, and this is the second time that I will say I'm very, very happy. Then also I want to send a message to my colleague youth or graduates that are in the cities or in the towns. Please, youth, let's come and work. When we work, we can receive something. That's what I will tell always my colleague. I don't want to stay in the city or in town, always being a tire base, saying that government is not working. Please, youth, let's try to do something and better our lives. Government will support you when you start. I have got my own support today, and I will say I'm very, very happy.
While presenting farm implements, Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs, Luceni Kalon, called on other young people to learn from Parker and engage themselves in sustainable livelihood activities.
Therefore, it's not about the donation, but it's to showcase the talent of this young man, to motivate the other youth, definitely to enter into agriculture and stop this idea that it's only when we sit and wait for government, then government can help us. You have to start somewhere. The moment you start somewhere, government can empower you and give you the necessary support.
The project manager for youth in agriculture speaks on the items donated and how helpful it is.
We've donated one tricycle and 2 mini power tillers. So Mr. Sipaka, who owns a Sipaka farm, the tricycle, I believe, will be used to transport his produce and also to transport his worker, because he has like 8 youths going on his farm, which he can use to transport them from his community or house to the farm. Also, the mini power tillers can be used to plow and also harrow.
Ronald Jumrovia, AYV News, Freetown.
Residents of Tambakula Wharf at Aberdeen have said the lack of toilet facility and cold room for fishmongers are among the challenges faced at the wharf. Our reporter Mohammed Bakar Kamara visited the community to find out more.
This is Tambakula Wharf, a predominant fishing community at Aberdeen. Fishmongers at this wharf said they are faced with constraints, especially lack of toilet facility and cold room to preserve fishes in the wharf.
For now, no get So we need the government to put effort for us. So then we get platform them back.
Now no get toilets. The constraint no get wash. We want cold room. We want them we find toilet and find cold room. Where be safe the fisherman go carry them to clock the find store where be say they go keep them machine. We no problem no go happen. Put cold room now. So one make store, one make for me the community unite. For me we able get where to we the get for keep for the day. But if we can also not get toilet, not get bathroom, people in the come far away for can buy fish also. But they restrain out them for wet, out them for do everything, but they're not able. So we beg, we need for help. We need for help and we need help because the big one and they come, they the one wet, they not they get nothing. Look, big people they don't come. You have not get toilet. Number two, we have restrain. We have not get cold room. And we will not get cold room, so the fish we know they done.
These residents believe that if cold room is being provided for them at the WAF, the constraints they face will be averted. For AYV News, I am Mohamed Bakar Kamara, reporting in Freetown.
Now, in today's court update, the leader and chairman of the Alliance Democratic Party, Mohamed Kamarainba Mansere and Marion Aruni, have been granted bail by Honorable Justice Samuel Taylor at Sexual Model Court in Freetown. Mohamed Kamarainba Mansere was brought before the court for sexually penetrating a 15-year-old girl in Kono District on the 14th February 2020. Our reporter, Sheikh Mohammed Saleh, has more.
Accused of sexually penetrating a 15-year-old girl in Kono District. However, he has now been granted bail by the Honorable Justice Samuel O. Taylor at the Sexual Model Court in Freetown. Speaking in court, the first accused lawyer, Emmanuel Safa Abdullah, said due to their witnesses who are coming from up-country, they cannot proceed with the said matter, and as he asked for an adjournment, that notwithstanding they want to renew their application for bail. He said that the health of the first accused, Mohamed Kamarainba Mansere, is not favorable and that sometimes in the 21st September 2020, they made an application with regards to his health. Safa E. Esquires asked the court to grant the accused bail for him to take care of himself and at the same time make himself available before the court whenever he is needed. He said that he is making his application for bail pursuant to Section 79 1, 2, and 3 of the Criminal Procedure Act of 1965. He said he is asking the court to consider the health of the accused as he is behind bar. He also said that the second accused is a mother of 2 young children for which they haven't seen their mother for too long now. He also asked the bench to grant them bail and she has no flight risk, and he therefore canvassed the bench to consider his application for bail for the first and second accused person. Addressing the court, the state prosecutor, Omo Sumare, said that at this stage she have heard the bail application by the defense team that was made on behalf of both accused persons, and the prosecution at this stage is not opposing to bail. Be that it may, I want the Lordship to take judicial notice for the fact that even with the accused incarcerated could not proceed as fast as it could. The prosecution wishes to see the conclusion of the matter. Given his ruling, the judge, Samuel O. Taylor, said bail is granted for the first accused person, Mohamed Kamarainba Mansere, for 100 million leones, 2 shorties, for which one of them should be a resident of Freetown and should be a house owner, and they should provide identification to the master and registrar, and the first accused should report 3 times a week to the master and registrar and shall tender all traveling documents to the master and registrar. The second accused was also granted bail with 100 million leones, 2 shorties, and the shorties shall bring an identification card to the master and registrar, and she shall report twice a week, and she also needs to give all traveling documents to the master and registrar. The matter was adjourned for Tuesday, the 14th September 2021. Sheikh Mohammed Saleh, AYV News, Freetown.
Many thanks to you there, Sheikh Mohammed Saleh, for that report. Well, this is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. Stay tuned for more stories after the break.
Been looking for a place to get quality education but don't know how aware? Canadian College of Modern Technology, situated at 1 Silicon Hills, Mile 91, opposite former Camp Charlie, is the right place for you. Canadian College of Modern Technology, an affiliate of Dala University, is a fully accredited college with a Tertiary Education Commission, TEC, and a National Commission for Technical, Vocational, and Other Academic Awards, NCTVA. We provide world-class tertiary education in computer science, business administration, mass communication, business information technology, Microsoft Server Administration, networking, database administration, building and construction, and other professional courses. Apart from its conducive environment, which makes it suitable for learning, Canadian College of Modern Technology is proud of its experienced local and international staffs. Come and experience a transformational learning environment, fully equipped with CCTV cameras, a world-class electronic library with the latest iMac computers for collaborative learning and research, and access to high-speed internet service throughout the campus. And guess what? Canadian College of Modern Technology is the first college in Sierra Leone to operate the first educational purpose-only television and radio station for its mass communication students. Come and be part of this historic experience. We have reserved a space for you. You want to know more? CCMC provides 24 hours electricity from a solar harvest power supply system with a backup generator. This highly secure campus also have a canteen, student hostels with clean pipe-borne water. Canadian College offers many more amenities for our students to help make learning a good experience. For more information, contact us on these numbers: 079-630-407 or 099-140-208. If you want to succeed, Canadian College will exceed your expectations. Canadian College of Modern Technology, a place where career begins.
Welcome back. I am Marina Terry, and this is AYV's Primetime News. Let's take more stories. Now, the Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow has called on paramount chiefs and stakeholders in Kono districts to position themselves to tap into President Julius Maada Bio's developmental program for the nation. He made this statement whilst officially opening a multi-purpose complex center built by paramount chief Paul Ngaba Sakwi and Tankoro administration in Kono district. The White Nile report from Kono district.
The Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mohamed Julde Jallow, storming Kono districts over the weekend, where he was received at Bumpe Junction by chiefs, Kono stakeholders, thousands of Sierra Leoneans. During his visit, the second gentleman inspected a quarter guard of honor by the 9th Infantry Brigade in Kono. A visit to the SLPP headquarters, a visit to a proposed site for a building project organized by Kono Chiefs' wives, and the official opening of a modern multi-purpose center built by Chief Paul Ngaba Sakwi V and the Tankoro administration. The occasion was top-notch as the creme de la creme of Kono, together with residents from across the district, converged. In an interview with AYV Television, the Vice President explains the importance of his visit.
Well, it is one of the most momentous ones. I've had very good, lousy welcome. As you know, I am from Kono, born, bred here, went to school here, and that I've not been around for some time. I came back this week essentially to engage stakeholders on a range of development programs, and more importantly, the message I have for the people of Kono, like you said, a message of hope, is that the stakeholders in Kono should be able to tap into the several development initiatives that His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio wants to undertake in Kono. That is at the infrastructural front, the educational front, the energy and the water resource development front.
Roads infrastructure has been a serious impediment towards development and growth in Kono district, as people complain that the roads are bad. What is your government doing to solve this problem?
Last time His Excellency came here, made it categorically that he's going to work on that road. And that road has tremendous social, economic, and political importance, not only for Kono district, but for the country. This is a road that goes across 5 to 6 chiefdoms. That is, like you said, Suwa, Mafindo, Bane, up to Kamiando and the Guinea border. The latest on the road is that, you know, the last time I came to Kono, I visited that road. I went to up to the Guinea border. We went back, then government put in place a technical team. That technical team has been working. They have identified a company. That company has undertaken a feasibility study to know the length of the road, the cost of the road, and what is involved in the road. And that feasibility study has been endorsed by the Ministry of Works and the SLRA. And now today, the next stage in that road is to now take the agreement to cabinet and then sign the agreement, endorse it by Parliament, and then provide the initial funding to start that road. And the way things are going, my optimism is that those roads, particularly that Mafindo road, will start before the end of the year.
In terms of the educational sector, Kono has been doing abysmally. What hope do you have for the people of Kono in terms of improving education in this part of the country?
Yes, well, the university also, we have made tremendous progress. One, government has provided a counterpart funding of about $2 million to start the preparatory side. The building of a university, constructing a university, has got 2 tracks. You have the soft side and the hard side. The soft side is those policies you put in place. Already there has been now a policy that the universities will be established. We have established a transitional administration to move the university. Government has provided counterfeit funding of about $2 million that will go to rehabilitate the old Kono District Council to serve as the interim secretariat for the university. That money also will go to clearing the site, building the fence, building an administrative building, building an auditorium, and 3 classrooms. And also, we have already put in place an access program that is to begin to support kids that have done very poorly, kids that is like an entry exam into the university. And if all goes well, it should start October this year.
Chief Paul Gabasakwe V, in his welcoming address, called for unity to put development first and other political infighting.
When it comes to giving support to government, Honorable Vice President, we are very simple. We know the support, but in our government, we the support. Any government where they know the support, we know the compromise them, and what is good for the rules should be good for the government.
The occasion climaxed with statements from the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Tambalamina, Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Timothy Kaba, Mayor Matthew Kombasam, the General Manager for Koido Limited, Rocco Van Mullen, the Honorable Yai Rebecca Kamara, and the C4C caucus leader in Parliament, Sir Emerson Lamina. For AYV Primetime News, Dwight Neal reporting.
Now, with funds from multilateral organizations, including the World Bank, the sum of $19.8 million have been provided to boost basic education in Sierra Leone. The project started in 2012, which aimed at improving the education sector, especially at primary level. Various partners in the implementation process, including Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, are hosting public engagement on this mega project. Augusta Ethel Ture reports.
A $90.8 million project is to be implemented under the Free Quality Education. A project jointly funded by World Bank, IESHADE, European Union and Global Partnership for Education, among other things, is to boost the education sector in Sierra Leone. The project started in 2012 and its key objective is to support primary education in the country. Currently, various stakeholders in this project, including Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, are engaging members of the public on the implementation process of this mega project. And the North is the recent region to host this engagement. Mohamed Silasise speaks on behalf of the ministry.
That all of the schools that will be benefiting from this intervention have properly composed SMCs. because I am also aware that not all schools have properly composed SMCs. Before you leave here, you will be told the composition as dictated by the Education Act, the composition of the SMC. So, head teachers who will be present at your trainings should take note of that. And our officers, the quality assurance officers, and all other education personnel must ensure that these structures are very clearly defined and they are.
Adam Amomo is Director, Planning and Policy, Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, gives an insight on the project.
The reason why we targeted the primary school is because the subsidy that government is paying to primary school is very small. So we want to subsidize that one. And it is going to be clearly marked, because that's why government, before we come here, they are not processing first-time subsidy. So we make sure that the subsidy goes into the account. When they finish eating, then the PBF goes. So that we actually track what is going into each individual account, each school account, and how it is being utilized. So that's why when they are taking you through, you have one of the criteria to be actually, you have to place it on a notice board, what comes in, how it was utilized. So these are the things that I will urge you and I will encourage you that when you go down to cascade this training to the SMCs, you actually be focused on.
This Friday's engagement brings together representatives from respective institutions, and Andrew Conter speaks on how this will further improve the education sector.
I think this is the first in history for Ghana get a big lump of money going down to the communities for go help them for boom education. And I think this is the dream of the president of the country for help push education, more especially the rural communities. Some people, because of hunger, they are not going to school. Because of poverty, they are not going to school. Some don't have lunch. So if the government think it's wise for provide food, for provide lunch for their schools there, so that landing will take place, I think like lauded effort with the government of Sierra Leone and the donors. For
AYV Primetime News in Makeni, I am Augusta Etel reporting.
Now in sports, Mighty Blackpool Football Club has appointed one-time Slefa presidential aspirant Rodney Michael as the team's new chairman. According to Rodney, his short-term plans will focus on overcoming the club's financial challenges and provide a comfortable atmosphere for the technical team and players. He made this statement through an interview with AYV's Michael John Fofana.
With barely 4 days to the resumption of the Sierra Leone Premier League, one of Sierra Leone's oldest football club, Mighty Blackpool, has today appointed one-time Sierra Leone Football Association presidential aspirant Rodney Michael as the team's new chairman. While speaking to AYV Sports, Rodney expressed his gratitude for the appointment and further spoke on his short-term plans.
The news is true. We've been on discussions for a while now, and it's confirmed. I consented yesterday, and the press release is out. I understand that the club is going through some challenges. We have to overcome those challenges. We have to make sure that all technical team and players are fully paid and that their contracts are revised with the intent of improving them and to ensure that all salaries of technical team and players are paid before the end of every month. In addition to that, we have to provide the kind of atmosphere for the technical team and players to be comfortable at all times so that they will be able to put in their best effort without having to worry about any of the challenges. And then the medium term is to restructure, get the relevant committees in place like the technical committee, the media and marketing team, get in place the kind of public relations outfit. And Blackpool has always been the biggest club in Sierra Leone. It's been a family club. It has a heritage. It has a tradition. We have to restore that heritage and tradition.
He also furthered that he's determined to include fans in the activities of the club.
We're going to restore the family values of Blackpool. We're going to leave all this animosity, division, rivalry within the club. We're going to be united. We're going to come in as one force. The fans are going to be actively involved in the running of the club. They're going to have a strong representation basically. They're going to have a big say in the elders, and they're going to be involved in the technical aspect of the club, in the technical committee. And we're going to include funds in the areas like marketing, like PR. The club belongs to the elders and the fans, not the executive. The executive is doing a service. The club belongs to the elders and the fans. So we're just going to serve them. And being the servants, we're not going to be the bosses. We're not going to dictate. We're going to work with them. We're going to do what they want, and we're going to try to help them get to Blackpool where they want Blackpool to go.
In other news, Old Edwardians Football Club has signed Abdullahi Kalogaba as their new head coach. Michael John Fovana, AYV Sports in Freetown.
That's the end of Primetime News tonight. For more stories, visit our website on www.ayvnews.com. If you have any comments on the news, please send an email to info@ayvnews.com. I am Marina Terry. Many thanks for watching and listening. Stay safe and good night.
You're watching AYV Television.
Oh my God.
Timo, what's wrong with you?